Again, if I were advising Donald Trump, don't do this, you could be entering a trap because the Russians aren't going to sit back idly and let you bomb Iran. Russia's not going to respond directly. They're not going to go to war for Iran, but Russia's going to do everything they can to ensure that your military adventure is a failure, a fundamental failure. Um, and this is up to and including, the Iranians have the ability to hit American shipping in a way that no other nation that has recently fought the Americans could, including the Houthi. We're talking about Oreshnik-like missiles that cannot be intercepted, that will rain death and destruction down on the platform, penetrating the deck, potentially penetrating the nuclear reactor, potentially sinking the ship with catastrophic loss of life, sinking other ships that are part of the carrier battle group.
We may now be standing just days away from a war many people hoped would never happen, a war that could be unfolding right in front of our eyes. All the warning signs are there, pointing toward a possible attack on Iran. And when you look at the military movements, the political signals, and the rising tension, it starts to feel like something is building fast. Nobody really believes in the ongoing negotiations anymore. They look like an effort to buy time while militaries get to the position and prepare for war. Right now, as we speak, in the very narrow waters just off the coast of Iran, a really dangerous game is playing out. The scene of all this is the Strait of Hormuz, which is one of the most important waterways in the world. Oil tankers are speeding to get out of the waterway, while warships from the world's biggest naval powers all converging on the same spot. And it's setting the stage for what could be the most serious naval standoff in decades. A small confrontation, even a tiny explosion, would increase the oil price worldwide dramatically. And the players, well, you've got the United States on one side, and on the other, a powerful alliance of China, Russia, and their hosts, Iran. And let's be clear, this is not just some routine patrol. This is looking a lot like a direct confrontation. And the tension is already boiled over. Just a few days ago, an F-35 fighter shot down an Iranian drone. But Iranians don't have a shortage of drones. They sent 2 more to continue hovering over the American battleship. That tells you just how sky-high the alert level is. U.S. forces aren't just watching from a distance. They're actively defending their fleet, and that active defense relies on some pretty serious firepower. China has sent its one of the most advanced warships, the Type 055 destroyer, a ship that has a pretty chilling nickname, the Carrier Killer, and for good reason. It carries more than 100 missiles, each capable of crippling or sinking a battleship. Just imagine the sheer concentration of firepower, a single ship that can launch over 100 missiles of all kinds. Having that many missiles enable you to carry out saturation attack. It means you can fire so many missiles all at once that you completely overwhelm the enemy's defenses. It's kind of like trying to catch 100 baseballs all thrown at you at the same time. You might stop a few, but some are definitely getting through. The U.S. fleet is built around the legendary Aegis combat system. Just imagine an incredible computer-controlled shield of radars and missiles. It's designed to project power-launching missiles like Tomahawk at land targets. But the Chinese fleet is a direct counter to that. It's armed with those YJ-18 carrier killer missiles and guided by advanced AESA radar, all specifically designed to punch right through that shield and hit the carrier. Of course, the USS Abraham Lincoln doesn't sail alone. That would be insane. It's the crown jewel of a full carrier strike group. It's protected by a whole screen of very capable Arleigh Burke-class destroyers like the USS Frankie Peterson Jr., the Bruins, and the Michael Murphy. Their primary job is to protect that carrier, making it an incredibly tough nut to crack. But this confrontation is not just about a couple of battleships. This is the start of a much bigger shift in the global power game. So on paper, these fleets are all here for a joint military drill they call the Maritime Security Belt. TT happens every year, but this one is definitely way bigger and much more provocative than the previous ones. The timing is no accident. This whole deployment is also a really clear signal of China's long-term strategy. For years, they've been building what's known as a blue water navy. That's a force that can project power anywhere on the globe, far away from its own shores. And in doing so, It directly challenges the naval dominance the U.S. has enjoyed for decades. This wasn't some spontaneous decision. Months before any of these warships showed up, a so-called Chinese research ship was spotted in the area mapping the seafloor. And why would they do that? Well, to find the perfect hiding spots at the bottom of the sea for submarines to lie and wait for an enemy fleet. This was planned way in advance. This quote just perfectly captures the message China is trying to send by deploying its best warships 6,000 miles from home. It's making a really bold statement. It's saying that the world where the U.S. Navy makes all the rules is over. So here's the really brilliant strategic part of this whole move. It creates a massive dilemma for the U.S. by sucking an American carrier group into a standoff in the Middle East. It means there are fewer American ships and planes available in the Pacific. This creates a huge problem for U.S. military planners who are also trying to keep an eye on Taiwan. Now, it's really easy to look at all this and think, okay, gray ships in a faraway sea, what does this have to do with me? But a conflict here would have immediate, direct consequences for pretty much everyone. Let me show you why. The reason is simple, and it comes down to one word: oil. The Strait of Hormuz is a tiny silver waterway where a staggering 20% of the entire world's daily oil supply passes right through it. That means 1 out of every 5 barrels of oil on the planet travels through the exact spot where all these warships are now converging. And that leads to this completely predictable and painful chain reaction. If this standoff escalates and shots are fired, the strait will be closed to all shipping instantly. The global oil supply gets choked off. And for all of us would mean a sudden dramatic spike in the price of everything from the gas in your car to the food on your table. And it's not just the global economy that's at risk here. The countries that actually located in the neighborhood, places like Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Kuwait, and the UAE, are extremely nervous. They know that if missiles start flying, their cities could easily be caught in the crossfire. So they're desperately pushing for diplomacy. But their calls for peace are kind of getting drowned out by the sound of warships. Which brings us right back to the immediate crisis. With these military exercises underway and all these warships operating so close to each other, the coming days and weeks are absolutely critical.